Okay, I'm here in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, and I'm at an abandoned drive-in movie theater. And this is where the opening scene of Out of the Furnace took place, right here where I'm standing, as a matter of fact. The camera kind of panned in on a drive-in movie theater, and there were cars parked out. This was a parking lot for, so all this brush now is where the cars would have pulled in to watch, the movie on this screen. And right where I'm standing is where Harlan DeGroat's car would have been parked, and he had his date with him. And during the movie, he was feeling sick from the food, so he sort of spit up outside of the door. And then that led to a pretty heated discussion that turned violent, where he got physical with the girl in the car with him. And that's where the neighboring guy in a car that would have been parked right over here kind of gets out to help defuse the situation, and gets himself completely involved. That's where a fight ensues and breaks out right here.
I don't want no trouble.
Yeah, you're already starting.
Now, during one of those scenes, they actually show this building right here behind me, and this is where the movies would have been projected, the concession stand, the restrooms. Getting a little bit of a glare, but this building right here is what you see in the background.
Come on! Don't stop!
So you can see how, you can actually see, if you look up here, if I zoom in, you can actually see the little windows, the projection windows that are up there. And then, as I said, the restrooms and the snack bar. You got the snack bar right here, restrooms. You can see all that in the background, but you catch a glimpse of this building quickly during that scene where Harlan is beating the hell out of that guy. So after that guy gets beaten up, Harlan gets back in his. Before he gets back in his car, he sort of like walks out here, and he's having heated words with other people that are kind of coming over to see what had happened. But that took place right here. Then Harlan gets in his car, and he kind of peels out and goes off in that direction. Came up here closer to the back side of this projection building, but if you look very closely, you can actually see the remains of an image that used to be on here. It was like a little cartoon type cup walking, like, see the straw, that was the top. The bodies and head is kind of gone, but here's the leg, and then there's the hand kind of almost sort of like waving. It was like a walking, like, fountain drink or a soda or what have you. But you can see that on the building very briefly when Harlan DeGroat is having that fight with that guy, when they show this building in the background. But this is where the opening scene of Out of the Furnace took place. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and this location was used twice in the movie Out of the Furnace. Pretty early on, they show Russell walking home after work from the mill, and I'll swing around and show you just how close these mills are. They're right here, right behind where I'm filming from. But they show him walking up this road right here, up the hill in the direction that I'm filming, right along there. You see him walking up to get in his truck after a day's of work, hard day's work. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and right here is the location that was used when Russell was driving his truck down this road towards where I'm filming. So he would have been coming through here, and he was literally going through this intersection when he sees Rodney's car parked over here. So that's when he backs it up. He backs up and then pulls onto this road and goes and turns and parks right over here by that white truck. And then right over here is where Rodney's car would have been parked. His car would have been parked right over there. And this is the building that he was in right here with the door. This is the building he was in for the horse racing. So he was inside there. And this door's changed up. If you remember in filming, it had sort of more like a diamond-shaped window that was on the door. But this is where he would have been inside this building placing bets on horses.
Why is he pulling up in the fucking reins? God fucking. That was racing right there on TV2.
After Rodney came out of this building from betting horses, this is where he and Russell would have been standing right out here in this road having a discussion. That's when Russell's asking Rodney where he got the money to bet on the horses.
How much? 1,500.
There would have been a white house in the background right here that's no longer there, so it looks a little different, but it's definitely the intersection here.
Fuck me, Rodney.
Now, Rodney's car would have been parked right over here. So when him and Russell were each going their ways, Rodney gets into his car and, you know, opens the door and starts it, and he starts revving the engine, but you can clearly see the side of this building. You can even see this little meter that's on the corner. Everything matches up perfectly. So this is where they filmed that scene in Out of the Furnace. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and this house right here in front of me is the Baze residence. This is the house that you see a number of times throughout the movie, starting with when Russell and Rodney's dad would have been living here, but was very ill. So they show Russell come here to visit his dad when his dad was in a back room and his Uncle Red was here. You also see Rodney come here a number of times, and they show it kind of from this angle as well. They show cars, you can see cars are parked on the left side of the road, but in the movie they were actually parking here on the right. But this is the house that they used for filming, and they did film on the interior of this house. Now, one scene when Rodney was coming home after he was fighting Russell would have been sitting right in here on the porch, and they show Rodney come up here and kind of stop here, and they have a talk right here on the porch.
Honey. Where you been? Out with the boys.
You also see Russell doing a lot of work on this house, including these windows right over here. You can actually see the frame here where he was caulking and working on some of these windows. How you can see how, I don't know what that's called with the framing, I guess, how there's like 9 window panes in that frame. You also see where he was like chipping away at the wood here, you know, with a, like a, I don't know, kind of like a putty knife type looking thing, but he was like chiseling away and getting, you know, the paint that's kind of chipping it away so he can go ahead and repaint this. But this house is not lived in anymore. Directly back there, straight through that doorway area there, it leads right into the kitchen. Obviously the steps up there would lead to the bedrooms. They do show a scene in there, but the kitchen scene in this hallway right here, from that doorway that you see towards where I'm standing, they show them coming and going from that as well. And then I'll show you over here. Look all the way straight back through this that room. You see like a window way, and then you see windows in the back of the house. That's where the Baze, Russell and Rodney's dad would have been bedridden. He would have been right in there laying in a bed.
Hey, Dad. Hey, how you doing? Okay. I'm here.
That's right there's where their dad would have been laying in a bed when they came and visited him before he passed away, and Uncle Red would have been sitting you know, back there reading like a newspaper or something while they were visiting. I'm here in Rankin, Pennsylvania, and this location here right in front of me, this black building that I'm pointing at right here, was John Petty's establishment in Out of the Furnace.
To stand with you, to change America.
Now, this business that served as John Petty's establishment in the movie Out of the Furnace is actually called Dante Club. Now this middle chair here along the bar is where Russell would have been sitting when he was talking to Dan. And you see this sign in the right-hand corner that says Dante Club. If you watch that scene, you can see the edge of this sign.
I'm afraid we're about to lose another Kennedy. God bless him. You want another? No, I'm good. Rodney was supposed to meet me here half hour ago.
This place is a time capsule. It's really, really cool. The owner of this place gave me a tour. She let me walk around, told me a lot of history about the building itself, as well as my interest in the filming locations that were done in this building, in particular for Out of the Furnace. But there were other things that were filmed in here as well. The bar looks very much as it did during filming. Everything down to the lighting, to the little decorative lights that were there, to the way everything in the front and behind the bar area looks. And the one room that always got my attention about this would have been where John Petty's office was. It's straight back from the bar. It goes into like a private room area where you can have different functions and probably reserve this particular area. But the most notable part of it would have been the fireplace that was in the backside of this particular room. That always stood out to me. One of the things that they did, that they changed up in terms of filming, is from the bar area to John Petty's office, there's just a hallway that's a straight shot. That's how it's set up now. During filming, they kind of had like a saloon door that was there.
Piece of lead in your ass and take everything in.
John, you back here? Oh, I'm sorry. Should I come back later? Or?
No, it's okay. We're finishing up.
But the most noticeable difference is you're not going to see that saloon door. So when Harlan DeGroat and one of his accomplices were back there talking to John Petty, when Russell went back there to see him, he was kind of, eavesdropping, kind of listening to what was going on there. And that's when he sort of barged in on purpose to kind of break up whatever was happening there. He's kind of he's kind of like listening in from the other side of that saloon, those swinging saloon door type things that aren't there now. But then he comes into that particular part of the building where John Petty's office was.
Your mom teach you to barge in like that? You got a problem with me?
Now we see this location later in the movie, so I'm going to go ahead and come back to this location when it's applicable to kind of what happens later in the movie. Okay, I'm here in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, and this is a filming location that took me a long time to figure out where it was. I had to put in a lot of time and research to figure out exactly where this filming location took place, but I was finally able to figure it out, and I'll show it to you now. This is the location of where Russell gets into his car crash after he left John Petty's. So he was at John Petty's having a few drinks, and afterwards was coming down this road towards where I'm filming. So he'd have been coming down this direction, and he had the baseball game on.
Base, Lily still looking strong on the mound, and Lily delivers. Swinging, there's a drive.
And as he is coming down this road right here, right when he gets up to here, a car pulled out, like backed out actually, right in front of him here, and he smashed into it. He hit it right here. So it would have been coming out of this driveway. It backed out onto the road right here, and he smashed into it. So that car kind of spun and stayed put, and then Russell's vehicle would have gone right up here, and that's where he was, bloodied and kind of hurt. So he gets out and comes over to check on the driver. Well, the driver and the passenger, and nobody's responding. Nobody's moving. And that's when he looks in the car and sees a little kid's shoe. So this was a hard spot to figure out, and some things have changed since filming. Namely, some of the properties that were here are gone. So this driveway led to a house. As you can see, the driveway went up that way, and then so did this one. This driveway led to a house as well. And right up there is a white truck. That's my truck. I pulled off the side of the road. But just beyond that, I know you're probably getting a little bit of a glare with the sun shining that direction. Right beyond that was another structure that you see later when Russell, after he's released from prison, he comes back to the car crash scene. He was like kneeling down. He did that right here. Came back to the scene of the crash and, was back here to pay his respects. But yeah, all these. But just beyond my truck, there was a house as well. They've all been taken out of here. So all these are the old driveways to houses that are no longer there and up there. And something I found very interesting though when I was researching this site, you see that building right down there, brick building with like a blue roof on it. When I was doing some of the street view images for this road, and I was actually surprised that there were any, because a lot of times when you get on some of these back roads and things of that nature, there aren't very many options. You're lucky to have a street view, let alone be able to go back. But I was able to go back roughly, just over a decade. There was several other years that I could pick and pull photos from. And that's when I was able to go back and see where the mailbox was. You could see the mailbox here for this house. There was another mailbox that was over there for that. But what I found really interesting is right down here on the side of the road, there were a bunch of cables that were coming up the road, and they were kind of like wrapped and, laying on the ground right there. And I followed those cables down on Google Street View. Right beside that building, there was a big production truck, and those cables ran to it. And I'm almost certain that it was the filming production truck for Out of the Furnace. It actually says something with the word furnace on it. I don't have the image right here handy with me, but it says something like furnace production or something with the word furnace in it. And it was actually would have been matched up to the time that movie would have been filmed here. So I'm 95% sure that was the production truck or one of them. And they were running the cables that would have come up here, and then they stopped, but this is what they would have pulled out and, hooked up for lighting and for their cameras and their tents. I thought it was like crazy that I was actually able to, pull up an image of this road, and then let alone during the time of production. But it was right down there is where that was located. So yeah, they ran those cables up here. That was a place to park and get off this road, because this road had, as I said, some houses. Now it's kind of a remote road here. There aren't any more houses on this stretch of it, but this is where they filmed that scene. I'm here in Moundsville, West Virginia. And this vantage point I'm about to give you is what you see of the prison that Russell sent to after his car accident in the movie Out of the Furnace. So this building directly in front of me here, across the road, right here, is the prison. And they show a kind of an opening part to that scene. They shot it right up here on top of this burial mound. Now, I'll show you this burial mound in another scene later in this video. But for the time being, I wanted to come up here, one, to visit it because it's very interesting, and two, to show you the vantage point that they used. But you could obviously see the main facade of the prison here, how it extends all the way down that direction, the mountains off in the distance. It also goes off to the left, but just not as far. But this is the vantage point that they used to show you the prison that Russell sent to in Out of the Furnace. Now, after Russell's been incarcerated and they show the prison, one of the first scenes you see of the actual prison itself is the prison yard. So the exterior shot of the prison yard, and it's sort of like an aerial shot, kind of shooting down onto the prison yard. And on the bottom part of the screen, you'll notice like a big concrete slab with some like exercise workout equipment that's on there. And by exercise and workout equipment, I'm talking about like basically like pieces of steel that guys could do, pull-ups or stretches and different forms of exercises you can do on those pieces of metal. But those are actually still here at the prison present day, the same ones that were used during filming, but it's on that concrete slab. And then the rest of the prison yard, for the most part, is grass inside those walls. Now, you also see Russell as he's sort of walking and, just kind of keeping to himself. You kind of see him walk, and then they kind of show a chapel come into the picture behind him, and it kind of comes into focus. And that chapel is really there. It's still there, and I'll show you the inside of that here momentarily. But during his kind of walk in the prison yard, you can kind of see a couple guys that were at sort of like a makeshift table. It almost looks like a stack of bricks with like a concrete slabs. Those are actually still there as well, but that's where the one inmate that ends up trying to pick a fight with Russell was sort of eyeballing him when he walked past. Now this portion of the prison is where they would have had for the movie, it would have served as the visitation area. So this is where the inmates would have been able to meet with the visitors that were coming to the prison to see them. And in the case of Out of the Furnace, this is where you see this location twice when Rodney is coming to visit Russell. So the first time that they show this particular room, you see these four, they're basically like steel picnic tables that are fixed to the floor, so you can't move them around or anything. But this table right here that I'm pointing out with the red arrow is the one that was used in those scenes of Out of the Furnace. So Russell would have been on kind of more the left side of it, and Rodney would have kind of been more on the right-hand side of it. And the reason that I knew it was this exact table and that it wasn't opposite from the angle that I'm showing is because if you look in that scene closely, up on the window in the background, you can see this kind of like two pieces of metal that almost form like the top part of a triangle. So those are visible in that scene behind them, and also you can still see in present day. When you look at the other angle, if I were to go and shoot opposite side, you don't have that same matchup in the background. But they show it the first time when Rodney's coming to visit Russell when he was first incarcerated. Then later in the movie, Rodney comes to visit Russell after their dad had passed away. This is the room that they used in that prison for those couple scenes of Out of the Furnace. Now, the interior of the chapel was actually filmed at the actual interior of the chapel inside the prison walls in that prison yard. And one of the distinctive features that you can tell about that interior was they brought some pews in to kind of, set up for the filming purposes. But there's a wall that is sort of like a stonework wall that goes up the middle of the portion of the chapel wall. And at the top of it, there's a cross that's made out of glass block windows. So that's the most recognizable part of the interior of this chapel. So when you see that very briefly in the movie, that is what you see as soon as you walk into this particular part of the chapel and looks straight ahead when you come through the doors.
Smitten with God and afflicted, but he was wounded for our transgressions.
Now, one of the locations that I was able to see, but I just couldn't visit during the prison tour, was the spot where Russell gets into a fight. If you remember, he was kind of walking down along the corridor of some of the cell blocks, and when he kind of turned the corner, there was another inmate that was standing there kind of waiting for him, and that's when he's starts a confrontation with him, and they end up getting into a fight. It happened right up here on this upper level. It's kind of hard to see because I'm having to shoot through like some fencing as well as the bars that are up there, but it was right up here on this level is where that particular scene took place, and it just wasn't open on the tour, so I could see it up there. I just couldn't go up and visit it, but that is where the fight kind of spilled over. Now they show this hallway, this corridor here twice in the movie Out of the Furnace. The first time you see it is when Russell is mopping the floors in this area of the prison, and the next time that they show it is when Russell is leaving the prison. They show him come from a doorway way down there on the right, and he's sort of being kind of escorted out by a guard. The guard would kind of be walking behind him as they come in the direction towards where I'm filming. A couple things you notice in that particular scene is this red line that you see here on the right side of the floor. That's visible, and then just the hallway matches up exactly as you see in the movie. Windows on the left, more of walls and interior doorways on the right. But this is definitely the location that they used for those two particular scenes. Now, when Russell was released from prison, he would have come out the doors right through these gates. The doors right there. I'll put the camera up to the gate and show you what I'm talking about. He would have come out this set of doors right here. So he would have walked out and he would have stopped right at the top of those steps in between those two pillars. And he was just sort of like, you know, breathing and taking in everything that his freedom was now about to start. And when he started walking towards where I'm filming, he walked here towards the direction of this gate, but this gate would have been open, and that's where Rodney was waiting for him. Rodney was standing right here. So as Russell comes over to him, they embrace right here.
Oh, man.
The camera kind of spins around the two brothers after Russell was released from prison.
How'd it feel?
Now, Rodney's car was parked right outside of these gates. His car would have been parked right here. And the nose of the car was actually sticking out a little further. It was right about here. You could see it through the entrance of this gates that are now directly behind me. Now, in that scene, when they're getting ready to leave prison, Russell's like ecstatic that he's out. At one point, he actually kind of runs across the road, like acting like he's just going to run off.
I'm running away. Go!
And you see in the background, there's a mound that's right there. That's the Grave Creek Mound. That's visible in the scene directly behind them.
Come on, say goodbye.
Now, the mound looks slightly different compared to what it looked like in filming. There were several more trees that were on this side of it that have since been removed. And you can see the tree that's on the back side of it right over the top right there is still there. But there were a couple other trees that were here on this side of the mound as well that have since been removed. But that's definitely visible in that scene in the background. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania at the Monongahela Cemetery. They showed this cemetery twice. This is where you see Russell and Rodney come to it, as well as Russell and his uncle Red come to this as well. And I'll tell you, this is a very beautiful setting. When I swing around here, you're gonna see the view that you get from up here. Down there, all those houses you see are Braddock. You got the river out there, the bridges, and this hillside, you just climb up this hillside. There's just headstones all the way up this hillside. But the way I was able to figure out this location was this tree right here. I was looking for the branches that I could match up with that particular one, and I knew it was up high because of the view that it offers. You actually catch a glimpse of it in one of the scenes. But once I found that tree, I started matching up headstones and kept working my way down this hillside until I found the spot. Now, they shot this scene with a wide-angled lens. You know, they have much better equipment than what I'm using here. But I actually thought that the headstones that they used for the Baze family were actually higher up on this hillside. But I knew what real gravestone I was looking for, what headstone I was looking for, and it was this one right here. So I had to keep coming further down the hill and I found it. But the reason I say that is in the one scene when Russell's kneeling down by the grave, you can see this cross and you can make out the engravement that's on there. And then you see the ones here to the left too, the ones with the crosses. So I knew there was a leaning headstone with a cross on it, with a couple crosses to the left of it, and that's how it helped me find it. But the main ones I was looking at also were right to the right of the tree up there. You can kind of see right up there, there's a gray one with a cross on it. So I just kept coming down the hill at this angle to figure out the spot. And the spot that they used was right here. So you see there's a grassy area here with no headstones, so they weren't disturbing anything that was already in existence here as far as a plot or headstones or anything like that. So they put their dad's headstone here and their mom's headstone right there. And you can see like that headstone off to the left. You can see a bunch of these other ones that I'm showing you too, but I'm just letting you know in case you're trying to line everything up. You can see all of that, but this is the spot that you're going to want if you want to come see this location for yourself. But this is the location that they used for that scene, and It's a beautiful one. It's a really nice setting. They show it from a few different angles too. They show it from like more over here as well. Kind of like from over here as well. This is the location they use for out of the furnace. Now, the large industrial building that you get an aerial shot of before they show you a ground view angle of a fight that was taking place is the Carrie Furnace. This is in Swissvale, Pennsylvania. It's an old blast furnace. It's a historical site now, but the real cool part is you can actually take tours of this facility, which I highly recommend. Now, they don't allow you to take video during the tour. You are permitted to take photos, so I did oblige to those requests. But the particular spot of this furnace that you see it the first time in the movie is where Rodney is fighting. He's fighting another guy. There's a group of people standing on the ground, you know, yelling and cheering on. And then there's also some people that are kind of up above on kind of like a walkway, like a catwalk type of a thing, looking down at the fight as well. And the way you're able to match up that particular scene is pretty much due to that catwalk where John Petty is actually standing on it looking down. So there's like two sort of like catwalk, like kind of walkways that kind of meet, they kind of come to a point. They're sort of offset from one another, but if you see here in this image of John Petty, what I'm referring to, he's standing on one portion of it, and you can see just to the right of him, there's another walkway that leads to the one that he's standing on. And here in this image, you can see how they totally match up. So this is where John Petty was looking down, and then Rodney would have been fighting. Okay, I'm here in Findlay Township, Pennsylvania, and this building right out here in front of me, this one right here, is the building where the fights would have taken place that were supposed to be up in the woods of New Jersey. This is where Harlan DeGroat would have had his fights take place. This is where Rodney would have been brought out here by John Petty to meet with Harlan about fighting. Now, this facility has gone under a lot of changes, and I was having a heck of a time trying to locate it. I kept studying maps and roads, and I just couldn't put a finger on exactly where it was. And then I was able to retrieve a little bit of information and find out why I couldn't match things up. It's because this building has undergone a renovation. So what it looked like in the movie, on the top of it right here on the roof, you see how there's like one little, I'm gonna call it a vent. There's some kind of ventilation thing. I'm sure that has a proper name, but I don't know what the name of it is. Back when this used to be an old people's gas facility, there were a number of them that went across the roof. I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 of them, I'm guessing, that went across the roof right up there. So when this building went under a renovation, that obviously changed. As did a lot of this that you see out here. You see how this current facility utilizes all this land. They have all kinds of, like, you know, equipment and cinder blocks and things of that nature that are out here. During filming, this was all overgrown over here, and there was a few outbuildings that were over there. In particular, there was one right here where when John Petty and Rodney Baze first came out here to meet Harlan DeGroat, they come in kind of at this angle, but they kind of swooped in. They kind of did like a curve on a road, and they would have come in from this angle. So you would see that side of the building, and then there would have been an outbuilding that was like right over there. So they would have parked their cars. They would have parked their car kind of more like over here.
That would be the last motherfucker you ever popped.
Am I supposed to be scared of him because he sucks on a lollipop?
And then they got out and walked in that direction. But that outbuilding would have been over there. There was a bunch of like kind of debris that was there, but that particular building would have been situated right here. And that's where they go inside and meet Harlan DeGroat.
Hey, you're quite the crazy fucker in the ring. Makes me want to jump in there with you.
So the fight would have taken place inside this building over here. But it's completely been like gutted and changed, and it's a big trucking site here right now. There's trucks coming in and out, and you can't go over here right now. There is another perpendicular building that kind of runs off in that direction, and there was a number of outbuildings, but right now it's pretty much just this building and that building that runs perpendicular. You can kind of see the peak of it right there. those are kind of what's left of that old facility that once stood here prior to it being renovated for this particular business that's operating out of this location now. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and this is the location that they used when Russell was going to meet with Lena, go talk with her. Now, she didn't know he was coming. If you remember, he was parked right here on this side of the road in his truck. He was sitting right here. They show this angle of her with all the kids from the plates that she was working. They were all coming up this sidewalk right here, and they kind of come up the wall, and then that's when she's telling them, you know, shh, don't wait, be quiet or whatever. Then she has to make a lot of racket.
You don't want to wake up the neighbors? You know what? Let's wake up the neighbors. 1, 2, 3.
Unbeknownst to Lena, Russell would have been sitting in his truck right here alongside of this house. So when they come up here and go up alongside this wall, they go across the street into the park. And I'll show you that now. So you can see there's no playground equipment here anymore except for this little piece of equipment right there. The rest of it has been taken out, or maybe it was added for filming, who knows, but you would think they would have left it there after they were done if that's what the case was. But anyhow, this is the park that the kids were playing in. So Lena would have been out here, and that's where they show Russell come across the street, and his truck would have been parked right over there, and he comes across the street and he comes into the park right here, and that's when Lena notices him. So she sort of stops, you know, kind of walks and stops and stares, and then she smiles and comes over to him. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and this filming location unfortunately is no longer standing, but I still wanted to show the actual location of where it took place. So as you can see right here are the train tracks. There's 2 sets of train tracks, but right where I'm standing, you can kind of see the remains here of some of the concrete that used to be here. There was a bridgeway that went over the train tracks. So there was like steps that went up to the top of the bridgeway, and then the bridge would have gone over top of these train tracks, and that's where Russell and Lena went to talk. So they would have been standing right here on the bridge that would have gone over these train tracks.
I was hoping that
So it would have connected over the train tracks to the other side over there. So there would have been like a sidewalk that came across and then it connected to the bridgeway over there. On this side, it would have dropped you over here. And then there were steps that went down and then on to this road. And I'm gonna step out here and I'll show you. I can actually show you an old street view image of what it looked like when it was still standing. When I swing around, I can splice it in there. But right here is where the road would have ended. So you got a house on the right and left of me, and directly in front of me right here is where the steps would have led up to that bridge that would have gone over there. So yeah, I wish it was still standing. I thought it was actually a pretty cool scene when they shot the 2 of them standing up there. Made for a interesting vantage point of Braddock behind. It gave a view of the steel mills and even the railroad tracks that are here. But unfortunately, the bridge is not here any longer, but it would have gone right across these train tracks right there.
okay.
Now, twice in Out of the Furnace, they show a car driving through a tunnel. First, it was John Petty taking Rodney to Harlan DeGroat's place where the fights were going to be held. And the other time you see that vehicle pass through there is where Russell and his Uncle Red are driving, and they also pass through it. The tunnel is directly ahead of me right here. If I zoom in, you can actually see the top of the hillside right there. If you drop below there, I know that was blurry when I did that. If you drop below there, if you follow this path, it leads you into that tunnel. This area is closed and it says no trespassing, so that's why I'm not going to walk up there and show you. I really want to, because it's super close from here, but I don't want to get myself in trouble, you know, doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing when I make these videos. So I'm going to respect the signs. You can just take my word for it, but if you take this path right when it gets up to the bend and you turn, there's that tunnel that they show the vehicles driving through. Okay, I'm here at Raccoon State Park, and this would have been the location where John Petty and Rodney were killed. This would have been the road that they were driving on after Rodney's fight, so they would have been coming right along this road here. And then in the rearview mirror, the headlights of a car was fast approaching, shining into their mirror.
What the fuck?
And then up ahead of them here, the road was blocked. There would have been like a truck and some ATVs blocking the road.
What the fuck is this? Okay.
And that's when John Petty stopped his car. So he would have stopped here. Harlan DeGroat comes walking up alongside of his car right over here, and that's when he unfortunately shoots him in the head. And then they go over to the other side of the car and drag Rodney out of the passenger side, and then they drag him up into the woods and kill him as well. But that was a night shot that was shot right here, and it was also later into the summer, so there was a lot more leaves on the trees, so looks a little different than it does here in springtime when I'm filming this. But this is the location that they filmed that scene in Out of the Furnace. Okay, I'm here in Braddock, Pennsylvania, and this building here in front of me would have been the police station in the movie Out of the Furnace. This is where Chief Wesley would have been meeting with Russell, his Uncle Red, and Dan about Rodney and John Petty's murders and disappearance. So after they had the meeting with Chief Wesley, Uncle Red would have already walked out towards kind of the truck, and that's when they show Russell walking towards where I'm standing. He would have come out these doors, and right when he was walking on the side of his truck to enter it, that's when Dan comes walking out of the building as well. So they're walking out here, and then Russell and Dan kind of meet right out here and have a discussion.
Dan, you're in there. Oh, it's good.
And that's when Russell's asking him for DeGroat's address. So you can actually see this corner of the building here during that discussion.
You know as well as I do that John Petty has one.
Well, I don't know. Look, I'll see if I can dig one out.
Don't see if you can dig it up. Do it.
And he's telling him to get him the address. And Russell's truck would have been parked right here where this car is, right here, the second spot from the wall. So the pickup would have been pulled in the same way that you see this car right here. Uncle Red was on this side, Russell was driving on that side, and it would have been shot right here in this parking lot at that location. I'm here in Clinton, Pennsylvania. And this location here in front of me is the building that you would have seen where Russell and his Uncle Red would have parked the truck right where I'm standing. So they would have come right along this road right here, and they would have turned into this gravel lot and parked right here. And that's when Russell gets out and he walks over to talk to the guys.
You wiped your ass.
There would have been a car, like a muscle car, parked right here where this white pickup truck is, with some guys kind of hanging out at. And where these cars are here, there were ATVs and other vehicles. That's where he kind of greets the guys, but they don't respond to him. And then he just starts commenting on the vehicle. So he's just commenting on the car, asking questions about it. And then finally one of the guys starts answering.
What do you say, fellas? That's sharp. 66 or 7.
That's when he has a discussion about the vehicle with him, and then it turns to him asking about drugs to one of the other guys. So he was kind of like talking to the tall guy, blonde hair, that was right here in the front of that car.
You guys got any candy here? What you mean candy? You know what I mean.
And then right across the street looks a little different. There used to be a building called the Village Inn The building kind of ran parallel to the road right here where you see those trucks parked.
That's right there, man. Fucking rocket ship.
Yeah, I don't doubt it with that 1C4 speed.
Unfortunately, it's no longer there, but you do see that building sitting there across the street in that scene. I learned that they actually wanted to film a scene inside that building, but the owners of that business didn't agree to it, so they obviously didn't shoot anything at that particular one. But I did talk to the owners at this one, and they said that they were here for quite a while, even though that scene took place just at, you know, like basically like a short little night shot. She told me that they actually filmed a number of times here over the course of a few weeks. And this little grass area that's over here, this little clearing that's over there, she said that's where they had the tent set up for the catering. And they changed some of the windows, the facades of this building. They changed some things they wanted to look differently for filming, including the interior lighting. So they changed a number of things about this actual business for that particular night shot that they did here. But yeah, so right here would have been where the car was parked, and he strikes up a conversation with those guys right here. Now, out of all the filming locations that were used in Out of the Furnace, the one I was most interested in seeing and most excited about visiting was definitely Harlan DeGroat's house. You see this location a few times during filming, but you see it later much more extensively, not just the house, but the actual property when they go to raid Harlan DeGroat's house. Now, that particular scene, I really like what they did with the camera as they opened the beginning portion of that scene. You see a car driving down a rolling hillside. And I really like that scene as you see that car coming down that grassy hillside. It's actually on the lane, like the old drive that would have gone to this farmhouse back when somebody actually resided in it. As you see that car coming down that hillside, the camera starts to pan out, and then you see the window frame come into the picture. You realize it's actually being shot from inside the house out towards that field, and I thought that was really cool. And here I put a little diagram here on this part of the house to show you where that window was that they used to make that scene, that shot for that particular scene. So they filmed from inside this window out towards the field that car was coming down and just panned that camera out, and it made for a creative shot. I really like how they did that. Now you see that car come up and park next to like an old beat up barn. The barn was in pretty rough shape then. It was kind of half crumbled. Roof was sort of caved in, but it was actually still standing. Unfortunately, that barn has completely crumbled and they've actually cleared it out. But right here, I'm going to show you here, this little diagram here. This is where that barn once stood. You can still see some of the remains of it, but it was right here. And that's where you see the guy get out of the car. Now, you don't quite know who this guy is in this particular part of the scene. And when I first saw it, I actually thought he was just somebody there to buy drugs from Harlan. And that's pretty much what he was trying to do, except he was undercover. You didn't really realize that initially because he kind of goes up to the door and knocks on it, and he's waiting for someone to come. And while he's at that door, that's when you see the agents coming from the background over the crest of a hillside into the picture. Then you realize that they're all working together. This is all part of the same sting. But as he's at that door knocking, I noticed that in the movie that to the left of the door there's a piece of wood. It's sort of like a rectangular piece of wood that's kind of sits vertical. And I don't know what that is, but it's still there in present day. So what you see during filming of when that was there, it definitely lets you know that this is the door that they used for that particular scene. Now, when the agents bust in this door, they go inside the house and they start clearing it. They're searching room by room. They're looking to see if Harlan's here. That was all done inside this house. Talked to the property owner. He explained to me that they did film those locations inside this house. That was not done on a sound stage or a set, that they actually did go through and comb through the house and film all those scenes right inside this particular house. Okay, I'm here in Rankin, Pennsylvania. And this filming location was used a number of times throughout the movie. Where you mainly see it is towards the end of the movie, and that's what I'll kind of touch on and show from outside here. So you're gonna notice right away how this is actually a pretty unique location. The building itself sits just beside an underpass, so it's not under the underpass, but I am standing here filming this, and you can see the roadway above me, and just to the left over there is a bridge. So towards the end of the movie, when Russell is trying to lure DeGroat here, after he calls him and says he wants to settle John Petty's debt with him, this is where Russell would have been sitting waiting for him to show up, and it was right behind me here. So you see right there's one of the retaining walls for the overpass that's above me, and Russell would have been sitting right here in his pickup truck. It would have been backed up, sitting right there, and that light that you see right up there would have been shining in that scene. It would have been shining down, and you can see Russell's truck sitting right there. Right over here would have been John Petty's car. It would have been parked right here in that scene as well. But over here is the entrance. That's the door right there to John Petty's. In the movie, it had a red door, so it looks a little different than it did back during filming. When DeGroat shows up here, he and another guy pull up right over here. They drive up their cars. So DeGroat would have had a van and the other guy had a car. They would have been right over there just to the right of that support beam. When they get out of the car, and you can see kind of like their silhouettes right out here as they're crossing the road. Their silhouettes are kind of there, and they're sort of assessing, surveying the area, looking around. And when they look down towards where Russell is, as I said, he would be here. He would have been situated right there, and he was kind of ducking down so they didn't see him sitting in his car. DeGroat and the guy that was with him come across the street over here, and they enter into John Petty's through this door. That's when Russell goes over to DeGroat's vehicle and disables it. So he would have run over there, he would have disabled the vehicle, got his gun, and he would have come in after those two went into the building. He takes out the first guy that's in there, hits him in the head, knocks him out, right at the bar.
Safety.
And DeGroat goes into the back room with Dan.
Get that fucker open right now. I gotta remember the combination.
That's when DeGroat shoots Dan, and then he goes running to get out of this building. After DeGroat kills Dan, he comes running out of the back door. He goes up a staircase and comes running out a back door. And I'll show you where that is. It's right here. So this is the back door to this facility. So he would have kicked that door open. He would have come running out here, and then Russell was, in pursuit of him, coming out the same way. That's when DeGroat goes over here to where his van would have been parked, but Russell had already disabled it. That's when DeGroat goes running off in this direction out towards Carrie Furnace, and that's where Russell's, you know, following right behind him. But that all took place right here. Now, when Harlan runs out of the bar after shooting Dan, Russell follows after him, and they're headed straight towards the Carrie Furnace. And they eventually get into an altercation right there inside the furnace where they are basically fighting one another. Now, Russell wounds Harlan, but not enough to stop him, and he makes his way out of the facility and he goes to an adjacent field. And that's where Russell drops him in that field before going up towards him and crouching down. And that's when he tells him that he's Rodney's brother, basically letting him know who he is and why this is happening to him.
I'm Rodney Baze's brother.
Now, right about this time, Chief Wesley is racing to get here because he's trying to get here to stop Russell from doing anything to Harlan. Harlan gets up on to 2 feet and slowly kind of limps his way off. Russell's sort of just watching him, but then he stands up and raises up his rifle and has him in his sights. And that's when Chief Wesley gets out of his car and is yelling, pleading with Russell to put down the gun, not to do it.
Don't do it, Russell! Russell! Drop your weapon!
But of course, Russell shoots Harlan and puts an end to that.